Hello everyone, my name is Vidika Shotland. I am student of class 9B, roll number 40 of Kendra Vidyalaya number 2, F Station Karaikunda. Today I have made this PPT for telling you about Bihar with a state of variety of languages. So let me start this PPT. The topic of PPT is Bihar, a state with a variety of language made by me of class 9B of Kendra Vidyalaya number 2 F Station Karaikunda. First, a short introduction of Bihar. Bihar, state of eastern India, it is bounded by Nepal to the north and by the Indian states of West Bengal to the northeast and Uttar Pradesh to the west. In November 2000, a new state of Jharkhand was created from Bihar's southern provinces and now forms the state's southern and southern east borders. The capital of Bihar is Patna. Different languages of Bihar. There is no language such as Bihari, and not all people of Bihar speak Bhojpuri, while Hindustani, a colloquial mix of Hindi and Urdu, is spoken throughout Bihar. English is not commonly spoken language of Bihar. Different regions have different dialects. There are 5 dialects: Maithili, Bhojpuri, Bajjika, which is also known as Bajjika or Bajjika, Angika, and Magahi. These are the 5 dialects of Bihar. First language of Bihar. First dialect of Bihar is Maithili. Maithili is primarily spoken in the Mithila region of Bihar, that is Darbhanga, Saharsa, Madhubani, Sitarmahi, Madhepura, and Sapul. There are many native Maithili speakers residing in major cities of Bihar and Jharkhand as well as other parts of India. The total number of Maithili speakers in the country is pegged at 32 million. In Nepal, 3 million people, about 12% of the population, speak Maithili, making it the second most spoken language in the country after Nepali. Maithili was initially classified as a dialect of Hindi, but following agitations for its recognition as a separate language, it was included in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution, making it one of the 22 official languages of India. Although in the 19th century, Maithili was regarded as a dialect of Hindi or Bengali, with which also it is largely intelligible. George Abraham Grayson, a colonial linguistic scholar and civil servant, recognized its uniqueness and deemed it a distinct language. Maithili was earlier written in Mithalakshar script, which is similar to the Bengali language script. But over time, Devanagari, the script currently used for writing Hindi, became the standard. The Varna Ratnakar of Jyotirswara Kavi Shekhacharya, which dates back to the 14th century, is the earliest text in Maithili. Here you can see a script of Maithili language known as Mithalakshar. Now the second dialect of Bihar, which is also a language of Bihar, that is Bhojpuri. Bhojpuri is primarily spoken in the districts of Bhojpur, Buxar, Saran, Champaran, Kaimur, and Rohats. It is also the main dialect of eastern Uttar Pradesh. During the colonial era, peasants from Bihar migrated to work as indentured labor in sugarcane plantations in Guiana, Mauritius, Trinidad and Tobago, Suriname, and Fiji. Consequently, Bhojpuri and its variants is still spoken in some of these countries. Bhojpuri was initially written in Gaithi, a script used for writing legal, administrative, and private records during the Mughal rule and British Raj. Now, the Devanagari script has planted Kaithi. There has been long-standing demand to recognize Bhojpuri as a distinct language and not merely a dialect of Hindi. In 2012, Ravikant Dubey, chairperson of Bhojpuri Academy, sent letters to several members of parliament with the same demand. In response, P. Chidambaram, the then Home Minister of India, said in Bhojpuri, "हम रउआ की भावना समझता नहीं." I understand your feelings. Chidambaram's response made it to the newspaper and received pledges from Meera Kumar, the then Speaker of Lok Sabha and a native of Bihar. Nevertheless, Bhojpuri has not been recognized as an official language. Here in this, you can see a script of Bhojpuri language. Now, this is the third dialect of Bihar, which is also known as a language of Bihar, named Bajjika, also known as Bajjika or Vajjika. Bajjika is largely spoken in the Bajjikanchal region of Bihar, Vaishali, Muzaffarpur, Shehar, Samastipur, and parts of Sitamarhi and Champran. There are no precise figures on the number of speakers, but according to some estimates, Bajjika is the mother tongue of about 15 million people. There are about 200,000 people in neighboring Nepal who speak the language. Bajjika was earlier known as Vaishali Ki Boli, Rajika, and Brijika. These names have been derived from Vriji, a small kingdom that ruled over Vaishali around 600 BCE. This is a script of Bajjika or Vrajika language. Now the fourth dialect or language of Bihar, named as Angika. Angika is primarily spoken in the Anga region, southeastern Bihar, which comprises of district of Munger, Kaithar, Bhagalpur, Jamui, and Banka. It is also spoken in parts of Jharkhand and Nepal. Closely related to Bengali and Maithili, Angika is also considered a dialect of the latter. Estimates about the number of Angika speakers range widely, from 750,000 to 30 million. According to the renowned scholar Rahul Sankrityayan, the oldest written Hindi literature in the Buddhist Tantric Siddhacharya and poet Sarha's verses in Angika, which dated back around 800 CE. Here you can see script of Angika language. Magahi, a language of Bihar. Magahi, also known as Magahi language, has descended from Magahi Prakrit, the language believed to be spoken by Buddha. There are 13 million speakers of Magahi, primarily in the districts of Patna, Nalanda, Gaya, Nawada, Jahanabad, and Aurangabad. The language was earlier deemed crude by upper caste. About this reason, the colonial linguist writes, Magahi is condemned by speakers of other Indian languages as being rude and uncouth like the people who use it. In fact, the principal difference between it and Maithili is that the latter has been under the influence of learned Brahmins for centuries, while the former has been the language of the people who have been taboos since Vedic times. Magahi was fifth dialect and fifth language of Bihar. This is a script of Magahi language. For writing these slides, I took reference. For slide 2, I have went to www.britannica.com. For writing all the slides except slide 2, I have gone through www.outlookindia.com. And for images, I have used www.google.com. Thank you so much.